For generations, fans of IndyCar could only dream of stepping into the cockpit and feeling the rush of going wheel to wheel at over 200 miles per hour. Thanks to the latest in sim racing technology, we can get one step closer. Talented, fearless drivers battle it out in virtual race cars to claim supremacy at some of the world's most demanding tracks. This is the RIL, Schaeffer's IndyCar Series, presented by Raceburs.
Ever since I've switched to Schaeffer's oil, I've never had a reason to even try anything else. And that's one thing that I'm proud about, is the fact that I can't tell you how good something else is, because I know how good Schaeffer's oil is. My engine builders, Tony and Glenn Clements, have said about the oil we run. They've told us that out of all the motors that they get and rebuild every year, ours looks the best, and a lot of that has to do with the oil that we run. One of the things that I love about Schaeffer's oil is the fact that all of their reps are out in the field and at the racetracks with us, seeing what all the racers need, seeing what ideas we have or anything that we can improve on. And you just can't beat the customer service of having a rep for, one of the main components of our race team, whether it's at our engine oil, transmission fluid, rear end oil, having somebody there that represents that brand and also gives us support and also the knowledge that we need to be making the right calls and just helping us out with our entire racing program. It means a lot to our race team to have that. My name's Chris Ferguson, and I drive the number 22 dirt late model. I've been using Schaeffer's oil racing products since 2009. I absolutely have no doubt that we're using the best products that is possible for dirt late model racing.
Well, hello and welcome to Raceburs coverage of the Revolution Indy League Schaeffer's IndyCar Series. Welcome back. This is Matt Houston and Gary Gotso here in the booth. This race is called the Heinekamp Financial 300, originally called the RIL Indianapolis 300, 120 laps rather than the usual 500 miles we know in the month of May. But during the time this series has run this, we've had three different winners. The first inaugural running was a caution-filled race where Nicholas Isidro took the victory, followed by a victory the next season. Caleb Bensi, the champion of the first and second season here in the Schaeffer's IndyCar Series. And last season's champion was the champion of the season, Dakota DeMade. And of course, you heard him there making a little giggle about Caution Fest there, but is our resident IndyCar historian, Gary Gotso. How's it going, Gary?
Hey, it's going good, and interesting. If you look at the top of the charts, you got the only person in the lineup that can say their father won an Indy 500. That's Flynn Lazier, provisionally on the pole, the 228.331, followed by our own Caleb Bensi at a 228.634, and road ace Nicholas Johnston from the Formula Indy Series making an appearance, 228.654. Those are making up your top three spots right now. Looks like we're going to start more than 33, and in modern era, we've started more than 33 twice, in 79 and 97. Both were because of scoring and USAC loopholes that they started those races. It really wasn't. It didn't make much of a difference at all during the race, because most of the time those cars were they were among the first to drop out anyway, so they didn't really make a factor or not. What's going to be a factor tonight is preventing or not repeating what happened the last time we were here, and that was a massive pileup in turn one on lap one. All the drivers have been warned what to do and how to get through turn one, lap one. So really, if there's another wreck in turn one, lap one, it's really just down to their own personal failures and not anything else from anyone else said, because we have told them so.
Yeah, with that said, Gary, I don't know did you get a chance to run this setup a couple weeks ago? Because it is a certainly tricky setup. Drivers were commenting you can really feel that car moving around, and some of these less experienced oval drivers certainly going to find that out as they head into turn one. And basically what it is turn one especially is it's both the compound of cold tires plus when at the start of the race, you're running lower speeds into turn one as you usually would, which means you have less downforce on the car, less wind, going across those, airplane-like wings of the car, and you just have less downforce. Car moves around a little bit more. It wants to oversteer on that corner, and we've seen that bite a bunch of drivers, both in the real life and here in the virtual series. Both in this series, Gary, as well as I remember over in the Lionheart series, we also had a really experienced driver crash in turn one, take out quite a few top cars. So it can happen to the best of them. So we're going to have to hopefully get through this. Flynn Lazier, as you said, provisional pole. Caleb Bensi P2 will go through the grid once I think everybody has qualified. You have an interesting predicament here.
You're going to have someone bumped, actually.
But the bump drivers have not set. But we have two drivers. So we have 37 cars for 36 spots. Only 35 is what I'm showing have set a time. That is because you have to set, 4 laps here. And so it'll be interesting to see who the race control decides to remove is the question I have. And I
Will Zeller and Cody Claiborne are 2 cars that haven't turned any time yet, and not quite sure why. I think Cody might have got 3 laps in and possibly had an incident during his run, because I see 3 laps on a current stint. So I think he might have finished his stint in the wall and wanted to do another qualifying run. Obviously going to be out of time here in about 30 seconds. I do not see him running on the speedway at all. Neither do I see Will Zeller running on the speedway at all. So it's going to be interesting how the admins are going to handle this.
Yeah. So that will be quite interesting. And I mentioned this. So last season, just FYI, we had about 30 cars. We weren't bumping at that point, but only 12 cars actually set a lap time. So a little bit better here today.
That setup last year was a bit custom, and it was a bit of a handful. Even when I tested it, it was a bit of a handful. Yeah. This one is a new setup, improved on it's a new default setup, but it's improved on the previous one that we've seen in previous seasons. The best way to describe it, it's floaty. It feels like your car is just really floating. Some people are going to have to put probably more feedback into their force feedback. Other people are just going to have to kind of get used to the feeling, but there's really no sign that car is going to come around on you just because it feels so floaty. And then, it doesn't, it's also tough to feel it pushing too. It just feels like, okay, I'm following. Oh, I'm not going to make the corner now. I need to do something. So these guys are going to be, if they didn't practice at all and didn't participate in any of the Indy Fix races, they are going to be in a world of hurt because they're going to be doing what I like to call on-the-job training.
That's right. Gary, got to cut you off because we have a singing of Back Home Again in Indiana by yours truly. I have been paid to do this, and I apologize to the viewers and listeners out there that are going to have to listen to me sing Back Home Again in Indiana, but here we go. I'm ready. Back home again in Indiana, and it seems that I can see the gleaming candlelight still shining bright through the sycamores for me. The new mown hay sends out its fragrance from the fields I used to roam. When I dream about the moonlight on the Wabash, then I long for my Indiana home. All right, I'll quickly go through the grid here. That was the singing of Back Home Again in Indiana. Flynn Lazier, P1, Caleb Bensi, P2, Nicholas Johnston, P3, Alex Van de Zamp, P4, Dakota DeMade, our winner last season, P5, Chris Hill, P6.
I got the next fit for you. Nicholas Isidro, who should have an EOL, P7, Lucas Santos, P8, Dan Neese, P9, Christian Jasper, P10, Shane Coogan, P11, and Matthew Short, P12.
Gavin Sanders, John Cosgrove, Drew White, Nick Minori, James Watson, Chris Kresge, admin, and P18.
19th through 24th, Nagasiya Yoshikawa, Peter Donchek, Ian Lake, Logan Spath, Nate Seifert, the FIS champion, and Michael Holler.
Followed by Sean Ryan, Matt Cosgrove, Neil Lusher, Hayden Herman, John Shirazi, Joshua Tucker, and I'll just finish it off, Gary. Tony Patty, sure. Alex Teeter, Jake Akey Breaky Hart right there, Angelo Espo, Jonathan Libertor, and Will Zeller are going to be our last starting position there. Setting up for 300 miles, 120 laps. Flynn Lazier brings us down.
Everyone patiently waiting to the green, and here we go. Green flag in Indianapolis.
The Dakota's running the Gasman livery. You know that one well, Gary.
Tom Sneva. So it looks like we had one starting from the pits, and that looks like it's Will Zeller.
Okay. I was going to say, I was wondering if maybe a Neil Lusher. I think we are cleanly through. I don't want to jinx it, but cleanly.
And it looks like we're cleanly through two. Almost had a moment there. Not sure who that was.
Where did Flynn Lazier go? I'm missing out on that because I see Alex Van de Zandt just taking the lead.
Yeah, I'm following Flynn Lazier back in. Wow, I'm not sure what's going on. He's way in the back, like 20th or so.
Okay.
Right around Neil Lusher. Flynn Lazier 19th now as he passed Neil Lusher going on the 1.
Oh, we've got a car to the wall. I think it was Nick Johnston in the short chute in turn 2. Road course ace into the wall. No caution at the moment. I don't think we're going to
need to hold his. Ooh, got close there.
That looked like a
hold his line and try to get to the inside, out of everyone's way. Here comes Drew White, coming by him here. Yoshikawa, Seifker way back in the field. Holler right there.
A little bit unexpected to see Nate Seifker way back there in the field. But yeah, Alex Van de Zandt getting out there. I was going through the history here, and I thought he might have been the winner in that first one, but it was Nicholas Isidro, as I mentioned at the beginning.
Alex Van de Zandt running that new Team Power Slide livery that he'll be running as part of the Lionheart IndyCar Series next season. He's going to be teaming with the one and only Adam Blocker.
That is right. And Alex will be running Indy Open for that team as well. They are kind of experts over there in Indy Open. Yeah, I saw Johnston into the pits. That was a really long drive to the pit lane for him. That car, he'll be able to get back out on the track, but he'll be several laps down. Okay.
Caution on the racetrack.
On the track.
Kresge. I think it's Kresge.
Okay, let's get it. Yep. Minori also involved. We'll bring up a replay, but this gives us a moment to kind of reset ourselves. It was kind of fast and furious at the beginning.
Chris, you're driving a green car, man.
Is that the Skull Bandit car? Am I allowed to say that?
It doesn't. Well, no, it doesn't look anything like the Skull Bandit car.
Okay.
Other than the green, he's got a different sponsor on the side. But let's check out what happened. We were almost 3 wide going through turn 1.
Yeah, I've got it a little bit after or before it happened.
Oh, and the car underneath him is really what caused the contact. Number of cars spinning through there. I think
he actually got pushed up into the wall on the straightaway before that. Who's that red car ahead of him? I don't know who that was. Oh, and then another car, yeah, got into the left rear of Kresge there. That might have been Minori. I know he was involved in that one. Yeah, I believe it was Minori. Yeah, it was. I'd have to get a close look of Kresge's car, but he might be sponsored by our title sponsor of this race in Heinekamp Financial.
Yeah, it looks like he hit pit road, and they got a new side pod cover on that for him. Might need to hit pit road again. Doesn't look like it's quite fitting snug. I don't know if maybe the car might have some permanent damage to it that he's going to have to continue the run for the rest of the race. But he's currently at the back of the field right now in P26, and he's heading the pit road one more time.
Who you were asking in practice? Who's
Espo, Angelo Espo, yeah.
Van Halen car there, but yeah. I would assume Kresge. For our viewers that don't know, but basically when you come into the pits, you have the option. The option to do optional repairs on the car, and that's like body work changes that aren't required. So that's what Kresge did to try to just get his car out on the lead lap, and he's going to get that fully repaired this time.
Caution lap is a very long time here. Takes a lot of time, so they got plenty of time. The pace car just exited turn 2. It is a third of the way down the back stretch, so he has plenty of time. Hopefully he has his relative up, so he's going to see the pace car show up on his relative here shortly, when he'll have a good idea of how far it is behind him in seconds, and then he can pull out, hopefully stay ahead of it and join the tail end of the field without losing a lap.
Yeah, I'm going to reload my overlay here while we have this moment and see what happens here. I think we might have had an issue on the qualifying grid, but let's see.
Yeah, I had one on the Monday night broadcast, so I'm not quite sure what's going on. Yeah. And if we're watching the pit road right now, my on pit road is Christopher Kresge is repaired and away. Pace car is in turn 4. And he is out of the pits, off the limiter, and he's going to join the tail end of the field, still in the lead lap. So all things considered, hopefully that's the end of his excitement for the day.
Yeah, let's see. Is Johnston back out on the track? Yeah, Johnston's back out on the track as well. He's going to be 2 laps down in the last position, 35th.
Right, Peter Donchek is also impacted as well. He's a lap down.
How many laps does this show the race is, Gary?
I'm seeing on the overlay, I'm seeing lap 7.
But how many
but I'm showing in iRacing it says 5.
Yeah, I think we're having a.
I think that's because I'm looking at a car 2 laps down. That's probably why.
That might be. Maybe that's why.
Yeah, because I go up to Gavin Sanders, my man Gavin Sanders in P5, and he's on lap 7.
Well, the reason I ask is because the overlay that I just loaded up says that we are only running 78 laps here. So I will reload this again.
Technology.
Yeah, technology. Apologies to our viewers. Making me regret having to reset it because at least said 120 laps earlier.
So we got Will in the chat here, Will Zeller. We both did 3 good laps. It's very odd. I collected a 0x on the last lap, and it was, it looks like the attempt was waived off or not accepted. The thing I can think is I wrecked the out lap and reset. Yeah, it's possible. Yeesh.
Yeah, if you take a 0x, it does not let you. Oh, we've got the spammers, Gary.
Yeah.
Yep. So, I'm still showing the wrong amount of laps for this race, but we are about to head back to green flag. 113 laps to go, so we're still really early on in this thing. But
yep.
Green flag, Alex Van Zandt. Caleb Bensie running the Fawn and Fanny livery for this special race.
So really was talking to some of the drivers before the race, and I said, you need to get your passing done very early in these runs, and then after that, you're just kind of waiting to capitalize on a mistake that happens in front of you. Because of the aero push, once again, it's making these cars very tough to drive. Here's Caleb to the inside, turn 3, completes the pass, and we have a new leader. Let's see if he completes the lap as the leader.
See how this swap drafting works here. Again, this setup has changed from the previous season and changed from a season ago.
Gavin Sanders with the move to P4 right there, going into turn 1. It's around Dan Neese.
just the way these Indy cars work, and this setup particularly, the more turbulent air you are in, you can kind of make those passes up in the top 5 positions, but from there on until the field starts to spread out, really difficult to pass.
Watching Gavin Sanders through turn 4 right there on the north side of the racetrack, down the main straight, paralleling Georgetown Road.
Although you're no longer able to continue past that point.
No, there is no such thing as the corner of 16th and Georgetown anymore.
Yeah.
There's a dead end there.
Or it's the roundabout at 16th and Georgetown. Well, actually, no, you're right.
Yeah, it's a dead end there. Yep.
It's a dead end, and then somewhere there is a roundabout on the other side where it would have been.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
My laps have corrected itself. I wonder if because we had that caution, if the calculation that we weren't going to have an amount of time to get to the full laps of this race. I think that's what happened. So it was showing like lap 7 of 60. I think it was because of the average lap time of the race. Didn't have it correct. So anyway, we're correct now with our overlay. Alex Van Zandt leads. But as we saw, Taylor Benson not able to hold that lead after making that pass.
Oh, pass for position. Christian Jasper around Dan Neese.
Not quite. Dan Neese is going to make it work back on the outside.
Outside line is OP. Looks like Christian's running the outside, cutting down to the apex, getting a run off the turn 4. And he's going to be right in the draft. Will he ride it out, or will he try to throw it on in there going into turn 1? He's going to ride it out, but he's still taking that high line, getting all that good air to the front wings.
Yeah, you kind of want to at least get on that right front, and I'll move the camera to an onboard. You want to get as much clean air on that right front, the right front of the wing, give you a little bit more air. In real life, from what I understand, Gary, they kind of do the opposite thing, where they're trying to get air on the leading edge of the front left of the car.
Interesting. I would say anytime you can get any type of airflow over the front wings to help push that down is probably a good thing.
On board with Christian Jasper, we'll go on back to another camera angle.
James Watson with a good start, up 7 spots. Gavin Sanders up 9. Big gainers in the back. Sean Ryan up 14. Johan Shirazi up 17.
I'm trying to find either of those drivers on the overlay here.
Shirazi sharing in P12.
There we go.
Sean Ryan in P11. I believe they might be teammates. So they could be working with one another to kind of move their way through the field.
So I have similar suspicions anyway.
There's no teams here, but there are teammates. That makes any sense.
Drivers that are kind of hanging out and, like groups on their Discord, that are friends, and although there's not teams and team points here, that they'd be hanging around and talking to each other and making in-car adjustments.
Current weather conditions 79 degrees ambient, track temp 112, so it's getting up there in temperature. It should get warmer. Let me look at the start time. No, actually, it's probably going to start cooling down going forward. But this is a long race, so we'll see what happens.
What time is it sometime, Gary?
Sim time is Saturday, May 15th at 13:31, so 1:30 in the afternoon.
I would say it will heat up for the next 45 minutes, and then it will go down from there. So,
Dakota DeMay putting a move on, or trying to put a move on Caleb right there.
Yeah, he's caught up to him and has a pretty healthy gap back to Gavin Sanders. But just one little mistake you make, Gavin Sanders can be right back up there. And of course, as we know, Alex up there in P1 is burning the most amount of fuel of everybody out here. But the way the lap count works here, it's kind of a straightforward strategy here with the 300-mile race.
30, 60, 90. Those are your stops right there.
you can pretty easily make 30 laps. So like Gary just said, 30, 60, 90 is the better than your lap 120. Very easy.
But the race to actually make 90 as close to 90 as your last stop,
yes,
without going too much over, is really the winning strategy that you could try to employ here. Is pit right at 90, and then everyone else has to still pit. You might make up that track position, but that is about the only time we'll probably start seeing some strategies played out. Right now, it's go, 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 engine mode 1 for everybody, and as they are looking to try to keep up with Alex. Right now, it looks like Dakota's fallen off of Caleb a little bit, and now into the clutches of Gavin Sanders.
Yeah, he had caught up. Dakota had caught up to Caleb there, but then drops back. Probably check out some battles throughout the field as well. Big group of cars. Hayden Herman, Shane Coogan, Nate Seifker's moved up a couple spots since the start of the race. Shane Coogan looking, well, yep, he's going to try to look inside into turn 1. Hayden holds on to that position on the outside. They do feel, though, Gary, the outside line isn't quite as OP as it was on the last
not as what it was, say, when the last update that iRacing did. It's there. You can defend it, but it's not as OP as it was in the past.
Yeah, with almost like the only like place you really did pass was that way, like on the outside, and you just guarded that outside line.
Got a pretty strung out field here at the moment. 19 of 20. First stop we can expect with that caution. First stop right around 35, 36, 37, 38, somewhere in there probably for the first stop. You can save quite a bit of fuel under caution. We'll see how people are saving further in the back. We'll let you know the stint report when everyone makes that first stop. But right now, the one that's getting the worst mileage is the leader. It's kind of a catch-22. Alex Van de Zandt is getting the worst mileage of anybody on the racetrack right now.
Just got a really good view of Hayden Herman had a big understeer out of exit of turn 2, but then he used the high line in turn 3 to defend any run coming from Shane Coogan behind him, and I had it right on the camera, so our viewers would have seen exactly what we were talking about just a moment ago. Yeah, even that battle sort of spread out now. James Watson in P10. That's he's having a pretty good run.
Yeah, real consistent for him. Up 7 spots. The inaugural Turbo Series champion.
Always running the familiar yellow, or these kind of, I don't know what you'd even call it, bright liveries. Hayden Herman having maybe an issue here.
Yeah, top looks like the top 4 are pretty much broken away, and then there's about a 2-second gap back to 5th and 6th, and then another gap to 7th and 8th, and then really 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th, 13th, 14th, 15th. They're all basically spread very evenly together. The closest battle looks like right there on the racetrack might be 15th, 16th, and 17th. Let's take a peek on that. Who did? That's Cosgrove, Spath, and Isidro. Isidro had to start shotgun on the field, so he's already worked his way up mid-pack.
Yeah, and Hayden Herman just made it around Cosgrove on the outside. Now Shane Coogan setting his sights on Cosgrove. I don't know if Cosgrove just put it down, fuel mode, to a higher fuel mode than fuel mode 1, or maybe he had a moment and had to check up, but Hayden was able to make it work on the outside, as we were talking about earlier. We got 2 Cosgroves in this race. I believe they are brothers, John Cosgrove and Matt Cosgrove. Wouldn't be the first time we had something like that. Shane Coogan and Tyler Coogan previously ran as brothers. I do see Will Zeller has called it a day.
Yeah, he's been in chat.
Yeah.
Chatting with us.
Yeah, he did start the race, though, so I see that.
In the pits, yeah, I saw that, yeah.
Espo's in the pits. Jake Akey had a really long pit. He's 5 laps down now, but yeah, Espo's still in the pit lane on the scheduled stop. Drew White back in 23rd, running the familiar Rainbow Warrior livery, as he's been running pretty much since the beginning of his RIL career.
Caution on the racetrack.
Caution. Looks like Isidro in turn 2. All tires attached, and he resets.
And he resets.
Let's
let's take a look at what happened there.
Yeah.
Did we have some help?
So far, it looks like he's
on no, this was... he kissed the wall on exit of 1, tried to gather it up, and was able to do so. And wow, there was a moment there. I think Spass might have had a Code Brown moment as he was trying to avoid that. A little bit of impact on the wall. I'm not sure what is broken. It's going to be bent up, I'm sure, but he is reset to the pit. So we are now under caution, and it's still early to pits, but we're close enough that they might go ahead and pit. We will see what happens. I'm sure everyone will go on cue off the leader as the leader is picked up by the pace car on the race course here.
I'm going to go on board with Herman as he had the Code Brown moment. Slow-mo with him. So he even almost went to the grass to avoid it, but kept it going. Gotta be careful doing that, of course.
Yeah, he saw it happening in front of him.
Yep.
And you're looking ahead and you're like, okay, what are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? And then, yeah. Good move.
It looks like everybody's going to come down here.
We're going to go. Everyone's coming down.
I wouldn't be surprised, Gary.
Drew White is going to stay out.
I was going to say Neil Lusher I could see staying out, too. But no, he's going to make it in. But Drew White going to try to get a lap lead. I mean, there is something to be said about getting that 1 point. And after we get whoever gets out first, it looks like it's going to be Alex. I'm going to head on to a word from our sponsors. First word from our sponsors, though, I can read off. So this is the Heinekamp Financial 300. Heinekamp Financial Planning and Tax Services offers a full range of financial planning and tax services, including investment, tax planning, and preparation, as well as retirement, insurance, and estate planning. Additionally, they offer small business and full slate of tax and retirement services. Check out HeinekampFinancial.com. There is a link in the description. I'll have to double check that I put that in there, and if I didn't, I will update it. But with that said, another, of course, sponsor that we need to mention is Schaeffer's Oil, and I'll let them talk about that.
There's 2 types of drivers out there. Drivers who know how to protect their investment, and drivers who don't. Car owners who know how to get more miles per gallon, and owners who don't. We're talking people who know their Schaeffer, and people who don't. Which one are you? From cars to trucks to diesel workhorses, whatever you drive, there's a Schaeffer synthetic oil for you. Do you know your Schaeffer? Ask for it at an automotive retailer near you.
All right, we are back, and we correctly, I'll double check that the URL is correct for Heinekamp Financial, link in the description. Should be updated. You'd have to refresh the video. That is the correct one. Thanks to everybody for all of our sponsors here in Schaeffer's Oil and Heinekamp Financial. Michael not making it out into the race tonight. He is a competitor here, but not making it into qualifying or anything tonight. We have a Drew White going to be our leader, not taking a pit stop there, so he's gonna. I'm not sure what the strategy is. He wants to lead some laps, I guess, unless he's been driving around in fuel mode 5 and can maybe make it, another 8 laps or something like that.
Yeah, he's going to have to. Right now, he's 20 laps into his current stint. Two sessions of that stint, 2 portions of that stint were under caution.
Yes.
So he should now be able to make it to certainly the 40s.
Yeah, I'm thinking 40.
Yeah, and maybe, I don't know, maybe I can't tell you after that, but we are getting ready to go green. Everyone in that familiar defensive position up against the wall. He will control the restart here when the pace car ducks on into
Who is this other lap
pit
car
road
between Alex and Drew there?
Yeah, that is a lapped car there.
Yeah.
Drew's underway. Lap car just gets out of the way for P2. I'm sure Drew didn't want that one.
Yeah.
Now we gotta watch that lap car coming into turn 1
really
and make sure he doesn't get piled up behind him. That's Akey.
Oh, is that who that was? Oh, we've got a car around in the short chute. No caution.
Lucas Santos. And there it is. Akey almost goes around. He does go around on the pit access road out. He's sideways, and now we're yellow. Exactly what I thought might happen then.
That was something else. I had it live on the replay the whole time. You called it, Gary, and I had it on the replay. So I was like, I gotta find out what's happening here. Yeah.
Really, the play there would have been just to stay on the pit road. Just stay on the pit lane.
He did a drift through turn 1 while... Who was the car that lost it in the short chute?
Lucas Santos, I believe.
Lucas Santos, so let's get a look at what happened to him. This is kind of what we were expecting on lap 1, turn 1, but did not happen. Yeah, I bet Santos did not reset his weight jacker because he got onto that white line on the apron, and
away we go.
You remember in the old IRO5 era, when those cars hit that white line, like they avoided it totally back then, Gary.
Yeah.
But, with these IR18s and DW12s, they ventured down there certainly more, but you got to get that weight jacker where it needs to be to go down there. And this is exactly what Drew White wanted, though. So...
Yeah, this is going to allow Drew White now to probably get to the mid-40s.
Yeah.
I'm sure he's clutching and coasting and got it on map 8 at the moment, trying to do everything to save those precious last drops. But he will probably cut into a lot of these drivers' second stint by maybe 10 laps. We'll see. Oh, we got a pump fake coming on here with Caleb.
Yeah,
Drew goes in.
Okay. Well, now I don't know what that strategy was then.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure.
Because he's going to head to the back of the field now, so. Yeah,
he did go the longest, 23 laps on that stint. 22 laps, actually.
I knew Caleb, or I figured Alex would do the pump fake, but he actually didn't there. It was Caleb doing it. Well, I'll use this time to give us another talk about our sponsor here, Schaeffer's Oil.
Ever since I've switched to Schaeffer's Oil, I've never had a reason to even try anything else. And that's one thing that I'm proud about, is the fact that I can't tell you how good something else is because I know how good Schaeffer's Oil is. My engine builders, Tony and Glenn Clements, have said about the oil we run. They've told us that out of all the motors that they get and rebuild every year, ours looks the best, and a lot of that has to do with the oil that we run. One of the things that I love about Schaeffer's Oil is the fact that all of their reps are out in the field and at the racetracks with us, seeing what all the racers need, seeing what ideas we have or anything that we can improve on. And you just can't beat the customer service of having a rep for one of the main components of our race team, whether it's at our engine oil, transmission fluid, rear end oil, having somebody there that represents that brand and also gives us support and also the knowledge that we need to be making the right calls and just helping us out with our entire racing program. It means a lot to our race team to have that. My name's Chris Ferguson, and I drive the number 22 dirt late model. I've been using Schaeffer's oil racing products since 2009. I absolutely have no doubt that we're using the best products that is possible for dirt late model racing.
All right, we are back. Alex Van Zandt currently pacing at the front of the field. We had a lucky dog driver. Gary was making the call while we were in commercial, but Nicholas Johnston back. Is he on the lead lap or is he a lap down still? I'm showing him a lap down still. Might have only got one back.
We'll see how next time it comes around. I'm the scoring reset.
He went into the pits top off. So it might be that. I'm going to back around now. Let's see what it updates.
He's still, he might. I think he is still down. He got one back, which is kind of what he was wanting to do.
Actually, no, it just updated. He is on the lead lap.
Okay, all right, there you go. What he wanted to do last time is he wanted to get the wave around, and Drew stayed out. And then we went to the restart, got a lap out of it. Then Drew decides to pit. But since Nicholas was the first car laps down, he gets the wave around, so he is back on the lead lap. Fortunate for him. Not sure how damaged his car is, though. Lights are out on the pace car. We're getting ready to go green.
Kind of familiar faces here in the top four. We got Dan Neese in P5, Christian Jasper, Matthew Short. I think Matthew would say that he's not really an oval expert by any means, but he's a road course ace. But a lot of road course aces do quite well here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway.
Yeah. Indy tends to convert road course aces into drivers that really like the oval. Here we go, getting ready to go green.
A giant roval, Gary. All right, back to green flag. Alex Van Zandt brings us back. Alex actually making a one-off here. This is his first start of the season, but certainly a series kind of regular here. 2 seasons ago, or that ran the first couple seasons. Last season he ran over in the Turbo Series because he had something else on Wednesday nights. But he's
the
back
champion,
here.
Yep. Here comes Caleb. 6th gear to the inside, going into turn 3 side by side for the lead. There we go. He pulls it off. Now, can he hold it, get things to the start finish line? Across the north chute there. Down through turn 4, down the main straight.
This is, since we've got to lap 30, I mean, it was pretty clear to begin with, but we are completely burned, like full burn now. Because they have less than 30 laps that they even need to do.
Whoa, Christian Jasper almost got into a situation with Dan Neese. Both of them rescue it in the South Chute. Caution on the racetrack.
Yeah, we got another car.
Sean Ryan.
Matt Cosgrove looks to be involved as well. Coming off of turn 2 on the apron, he might have got tagged from that. Let's get a replay and figure out what happened. Ooh, Sean Ryan just understeered. Kind of similar to what happened to Isidro. Oh, and then Cosgrove had nowhere to go. Collected by Sean Ryan. I want to see what happened to Jasper, though, that you called, because we did not have that on the replay at the time. Let me. I want to see what happened with that moment we had. Ooh, yeah, I see exactly what you mean. Jasper was running like the high line in turn 1 and then cut across in the south short chute. And from there, more cars. looping it around. Cosgrove really taking the worst of it through no fault of his own. On board with him. And that looks to be day done for Matt Cosgrove. Really tough break for him. You can see Sean Ryan on the apron down there.
Yeah, he had nowhere to go.
Yeah.
He really did. He just, even if he tried to break. Okay, so we got Alex pump faking. Wow, waited to the last possible second.
I think they're just playing games now.
Yeah, it's just playing games. Well, Neil Lusher isn't. Kresge's not. I think they're making their move to pit road. So still under caution here at Indianapolis Motor Speedway. We're on lap 35 of 120. This is our third caution.
Third caution. So we're clearing out the field a little bit here.
And there's been a little bit of attrition, but not a big one yet. We've had I think a couple 2-car and maybe a 3-car incident, but nothing that nothing pales in comparison to what we had turn 1, lap 1 last week. Another wave around happening there. That I think that is Johnston. Maybe he's getting another lap back. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Well, he's definitely going to be back in the running now. And then Lucas Santos back here 2 laps down, and it's going to be his turn when we have some caution to get his lap back. Or so he hopes, anyway. It is a good-looking livery by Santos there. It is, I think that's a custom-made one by him. It is like a F-22 Raptor. That's what it's kind of supposed to be like.
Yeah, U.S. Air Force themed.
Yep.
Of course, right behind him, we got the Frankenstrat Van Halen pattern that was going to make an appearance in this year's 500, but ended up not. That was going to be ran by Andretti Motorsport, and then the deal with Justin Wilson's brother, Stephen Wilson. Yeah, Stephen Wilson. Yep. Had that deal came together. And the Frankenstrat pattern never saw the light of day, but it will in iRacing.
So I was also just confirming Kresge is running a Heinekamp Financial car. So got some race for us on the shark fin, so we can appreciate that too.
A couple more cars in the rear making a dive down pit road. Michael Holler.
Yeah, nothing to lose for some of these cars near the back of the field.
Yoshikawa, Donchek, I believe, is also on pit road. So 3 cars getting a splash there. Espy on pit road as well. Espo, excuse me.
Yeah, he is 4 laps down. He's going to be getting a couple spots here because Sean Ryan and Cosgrove look to be out of the race. Donchek was down some laps at one point in time. He's on the lead lap now in 27th, and he too running a Heinekamp Financial car. I got several of them in the field. And I should mention that some of those Heinekamp Financial cars are also Kermit's, Gary.
The RIL Illuminati.
Correct, yes.
So what we got here coming to green, it'll be lap 37 when they cross the start-finish line. So really no strategy quite yet that we can see. The battle has been at the front between Alex Van de Sant and Caleb Bency. Dakota had moved up to P3, just kind of hanging out there. Gavin Sanders into the top 5, been kind of hanging out there. Christian Jasper been knocking on the door to the top 5, was in a battle with Dan Neese there right before the caution came out. Look who's made his way up to 7th. Flynn Lazier worked his way up to 7. So we got some people moving on a racetrack and a setup that's hard to pass on. Getting ready to go green. Pace car is getting ready to dive on pit road. Field's under control of Caleb Bency. And he's waiting. There he goes.
Slow start. One thing I should also mention, so Fawn and Fanny on the side of Caleb Bency's car this week. our two-time series champion, one-time RIL Indianapolis 300 champion. But they're running a special over at the Fawn and Fanny online store. If you use 20 Team Race First, that's the code, you get 20% off online order, I believe. So that's pretty cool.
Interesting. Alex probably had a run, could have popped out and taken it, and chose to stay in line. In the process, that allows them to bring along Dakota the Maiden there in P3. We've got a 3-car runaway right now.
On board with Dakota. He's kind of getting a good view of the battle.
Here's Christian Jasper on Dan Neese this time. Let's see if he can pull this one off. And we got a battle for the lead. Alex Van de Sant takes the lead over Caleb Binsey, and Christian Jasper now moved up in the top 5, worked his way around Dan Neese. He's been working all race long on that one, and following him through is Flynn Lazier now in P6.
So if I'm correct, Gary, our FIS Formula Indy Series regulars are all top 5. Pretty much.
And some of the best iRacers are in the FIS. Check it out.
Yep. FormulaIndySeries.com. Check it out if you're not on Discord. Caleb looks inside into turn 1. Takes over the position for the moment. Jasper trying to see if he can get a way around Gavin Sanders up there as well for the 4th position. Jasper looks inside.
Caution on the racetrack.
On the track. And I was seeing who are they going to give for a spot to? Currently says Jasper.
I'm not quite sure what happened there.
I think it's Santos.
Yes, he is now reset into the pits there. What happened?
Let's see what happened here. That is 2 laps down. Ooh, he just loses it in turn 2. Some evasive action by, it looks like an Infinity car, but I'm not 100% sure if that's...
That is, right behind him is
Johnston?
Haller.
Oh, it could have been Haller, yeah.
Yeah. So, he got loose on entry.
I feel like he brushed the wall in the short chute, possibly?
Well, let's see here.
Really good evasive action by Johnston, though. And Donchak right in front of them. You go on board with Donchak. I think this is exciting for him. If he brushed it, it was just very tight, and then not something usual not a usual accident that you see.
I'm gonna a speed cam on the short chute there. I don't think he hit the wall, but he got loose going in. I don't know if he already had a damaged car from a previous incident or what. But loose in, normally you don't see that. It's normally loose off. You'll see loose in on open setup races when it's an open setup. But normally it's a loose off is what you see most of these people experiencing. There's going to be loose off 2 and loose off 4.
Yeah, I think he had damage, and that's the point where once you have damage, you have to work around with your in-car adjustments to kind of figure out, what's going to work. And what might have worked during green flag running wasn't going to work, at the start of while he was coming up to speed. So it caught him out, and looks like it's going to end his race.
And there is Angelo Espo getting the wave around for the lucky dog.
Yeah, he's got to need a few more of these. But yeah, what are we on now, Gary? 4th caution?
4th caution. Yeah, the rate he's going, he might actually have a shot here. But we're 4 cautions into this thing. It's kind of been a stop and go type of affair here at Indianapolis. We're getting ready to
run, like after the first caution, we had a good 15, 20 laps, and then since then, just caution after caution.
I mean, Drew probably could have stayed out there now, probably thinking himself a lot longer if he wanted to.
Yeah, he could have made it to lap 50 by now. Yeah, I think it would have kept to that strategy. Once you make that choice, kind of want to stick with it.
Yeah, track position is so important here, especially with the aero push and the way these cars run. I mean, they still need to do something, whether it be with the track or with the car, to make racing a little bit more enjoyable. I don't want it back to where it was with the old tire model, which actually these became pack races and that type of thing. But a little bit more ability that you're in the mid pack, you could make the run to the front based on your ability, not just be saddled back there because the car is not going to let you go any further because of the aero push. I don't know how they plan on doing that or whatever, but it's a very hard. These guys, let's put it this way: these guys, when this race is over tonight, we get the lap 120. If they're in the mid pack, they're going to be absolutely exhausted because they've been trying everything all night long that they can think of to work around cars in front of them, and it's a mental and physical struggle.
There's actually a thread over in the iRacing forums. I'm not talking about that thread, Gary, but but there's one about dynamic track, and iRacing has dynamic track rubber. However, it's supposed to have dynamic marbles as well, and that if it really had dynamic marbles on the track, like that's the little balls of rubber that would build up in the real life track would be on
clag.
The exit. Yeah, clag, exactly, like David Hobbs would say. But if we had that, this outside line that these drivers are doing, it wouldn't be there.
No.
So
no.
It's things like that we're missing here. I mean, I guess that's a question for you, Gary. Is like, when they add clag, are you gonna like that? Because it's gonna make it very difficult to pass because we won't have all this track to use. Like they're, as you can see right now, they are running the top line of the track has come back.
They would be picking it up on their tires for pickup right there if that was really the case.
These cars would all be spinning as they hit turn 1 on a restart if there were marbles being picked up on the tires. So
getting ready to go green here, starting lap 43. The leaders are already rolling. Taking a peek to the inside is Dan Neese Flynn Lazier trying to get around Gavin Sanders. And he doesn't quite have the position, but they're side by side in the chute. Coming into turn 2, right in front of the sweets.
Side by side they still go down the back straightaway. Alex Van Zandt also trying
there to it is. That OP higher line allows that car to unwind, get the full 1,200 RPM down that backstretch into turn 1 and manages to hold off Flynn. And look how much he's already put between him and Flynn just from holding him off in turn 3 there. So good restart on Flynn. Good shot on his part. But Gavin Sanders stays calm, holds it together. And now he's trying to chase down Christian Jasper, who moved up to 4th right before the caution. And Christian, he is all over Dakota the Maid right now.
As we say that, Alex and
battle
Caleb
for the lead.
Back and forth here. Alex led, then Caleb repassed. Now Alex returns the favor.
So my feeling on running side by side in the corner, I mean, these cars can do it, and they do it. Mm-hmm. But you're really not racing side by side in the corner in real racing. It's you're passing and you're pulling off the pass down low.
Yes.
Very rarely do you see someone pass up high unless your name's Tony Kanaan, and normally that's done on restarts.
Or Thomas Schechter. But that's,
or Thomas Schechter. You are right. But I would say, if you can make it racy so the car behind can at least hang on to the car in front through the next corner, that's probably what I would be looking for. But once you get behind a car, you are instantly smacked with the aero push.
Yes. Well, I think that goes a little bit back to iRacing. Its bread and butter is a NASCAR. You always say it, Gary. We live in a NASCAR world.
Wow. High exit by Alex. Sorry to cut you off. For some reason, Alex decided to go high in the turns 1 and 2. to follow Caleb through and almost got collected on the exit right in front of the suites.
I had actually went back to look at Shane Coogan battling with Shirazi back there. Shane in 12th, Shirazi in 13th, but I'll keep it back on this battle for the lead here.
Here is down the main straight, side by side. Alex is going to have credit for that lap. Going to the 1, Van de Sant takes the lead again.
I actually did not expect with this setup that we would have this much swapping for the lead, so certainly different than I thought.
Oh, I think Caleb might have had a moment coming off of 2 because
an arrow push on the exit.
Yeah, he had to definitely take a moment of hesitation. He is not nearly as close as he wants to be.
This is where I know Caleb, okay, and he'd be whining right now or complaining about how he couldn't, feel that with the setup, because the setup feels very neutral and just until it kind of just does that on you. And that is the arrow push a bit.
Taking a look at the top 10, we got your top 3 here: Van de Sant, Bency, and DeMade. 1, 2, 3 right there in your picture. Christian Jasper, P4. Gavin Sanders holding P5 down. Flynn Lazier, P6. Matthew Short, P7. The FIS, defending FIS champion, P8. Nate Seifert is moved up in the top 10. James Watson, P9. He's been in the top 10 all day long. And Christopher Hill, he's down a couple spots, but still hanging on to P10. Making a charge right now is Shane Coogan in P11 on that battle with Christopher Hill.
Yeah, Chris Hill, he's not an oval expert, but he is, he's another one of these drivers that we would say he's a road course ace. And looks like he's taking a liking to Indianapolis Motor Speedway here. Johnston around John Cosgrove, so that car not as bad as I was thinking it was going to be. He's made it up quite a few spots since that restart.
Drew White up to 13th now, getting around Dan Neese. Dan Neese is just falling like a rock.
He must.
I don't know if he has some sort of damage on him or what.
All it takes is a slight brush of the wall, and suddenly you got a parachute on the car. In addition to any ill handling of the car that there would be from that.
His wings look good. I'm not sure what happened. Maybe just get a little bad luck.
Could be that too.
Hayden Herman, he had a moment. He is currently in pit road. The right side, left side of his car is missing. Not sure what happened, but we do not have a caution. But his day is done.
A replay of it though, if I can. Looks like we've got some green flag running, so let's go ahead and get it. Oh, he got. Not sure who that was. It might have been another Cosgrove, although I don't want to place any blame. But yeah, he got pushed into this. Let me double check. Yes, it was John Cosgrove. So, unfortunate contact between the two drivers.
And just like that at the front, Van de Sant has himself a 9/10 of a second lead. It opened up just that quick.
Yes, after that big moment by Caleb at the exit of 2, he got that arrow push and couldn't get it back. And I should mention also, we were mentioning FIS. We have 2 Formula Indy Series admins in the top 4. So, 3rd and 4th.
Drew White around Johan Shirazi. He is now up to P12. And remember we were talking about that high line? If you want to put the camera back on him, yes. He is running exclusively in that line, and he is running people down in front of him.
Looks like he kind of runs the typical line in turn 2, but in turn 1 he's running that high line. Maybe in turn 3 he's running it too? There he goes, yeah. Well, at least he came in with a high look.
Trying to run down Shane Coogan.
Yep. Shane running his Target STP. It's like a Ganassi, 1995 Jimmy Vasser livery.
Yep, Jimmy Vasser and Brian Herta.
Yes,
drove a very
yes.
similar looking cars that season. Yeah.
Yeah, and he's got his own company, media company, Western Waves Media, on the side of that car. Jonathan Libertor making a move for 16th around Dan Neese. That car's just got to be ill handling. In fact, so the leader, Alex Van Zandt, his last lap was a 41.1. Dan Neese's last lap was a 43.2, so 2 seconds slower. So there is something wrong with that car.
Yeah, Drew White very, very slowly reeling in Shane Coogan. Last time by, Coogan a 41.6. Drew White with a 41.5.
You know who we're really missing out here, Gary? Is JJ. He's not out here today. Probably Christmas vacation kind of issues and not the whole...
Oh, we're going to have a battle for, sorry about that, battle for 10th coming up real quick. Something's wrong with Christopher Hill. He was off the pace, and he must have smacked the wall or something, but he is off the pace, and he gets passed relatively easy by Shane Coogan, and now here comes Drew White trying to find a lane around him that's not going to put him in any danger. He'll get him down the backstretch now. Not sure what happened.
Yeah, we'll try to see if we can find it, but I kind of don't want to pull away because Chris Hill looks like he's got a handful to drive right now.
So Drew White going all the way to the back after staying out up during the first caution. He is now up to P11. Shane Coogan now is inside the top 10, followed by right in front of them is James Watson and Seifert. So starting to get some regular names that we know into the top 10. Some happened to Chris Hill. Well, never mind. For some reason, his last lap speed showed 0.
Yeah,
so I'm not sure what's going on.
It showed that for me too. So.
Alex Van Zandt with the 1.2 second lead. He is just about ready to break the draft envelope and really then start pulling away from P2 and P3 once he does that.
Razi catching Chris Hill now. And Chris Hill's...
He's going to pit.
Pits? Yeah. So too much. You were talking about having these drivers getting tired after you brush the wall. These cars are extremely difficult to drive, like beyond difficult. So he calls it a day and pulls it on into the pits. He'll get some repairs, and looks like another car also ducking into the pits. Not sure who that was.
Currently showing on pit road, Christopher Hill, Angelo Espo.
I have an Espo.
Hayden Herman is also still doing an active pit stop, as well as Will Zeller. But I'm sure we know that they're out of the race. Same with the Sidro, same with Ryan. So I believe that we're looking at Angelo Espo as having an active pit stop there.
But yeah, it's pretty impressive by Alex up here to be able to pull away as he is right now. Yeah,
I'm sure that there are secrets that Power Slide Motorsports has that or Power Slide Racing. I forget what they're actually called. I just know them as Power Slide. That they employ during fixed setup races that puts them out in front of everyone else. They all have a reputation of being extremely good oval racers here in Indianapolis, and I wonder if he's putting some of those new strategies to use right now or not.
I would suspect so. Yeah, we're getting pretty strung out here now.
You're at the halfway point next time by.
Yeah, as Alex is going to come across our finish line. 150 miles done, 150 miles to go.
And Jonathan Libertor on pit road.
Yep, the window is definitely open for making this a one-stop to the rest of the race here.
Dan Neese on pit road, probably wanting that pit stop badly.
Yeah, if he has a little bit of repairs he needs to get done, this is the time to do it.
Yeah, he's been in the box 18, 19, 20, so he had some damage. He had to have some damage.
Yeah, I suspected as much. I think Chris Hill had more damage. That was what my guess would have been.
caution on the racetrack.
Right at the window.
Neil Lusher.
And Joshua Tucker. We'll see what happened here. Right at the window. So that could hurt those guys who just stopped. Although they should get a wave around.
That was Joshua Tucker. All right, let's take a look here and see what happened.
Yeah, I'm not sure exactly here, but it looked like Tucker got into the back of Neil.
Yeah, but the way that he got back into him so quickly was Neil out of the power. I don't know, maybe you could do a ride along and hear that sound about what happened there, but
yeah, I will do that. Neil into turn one. On board. Yeah, he backs out of it a lot, and Tucker just runs into the back of him. So I think Tucker is certainly not expecting Neil to slow as much as he did. Let's go on board with Tucker as well.
And before we say anything else, all the leaders are hitting pit road.
Okay.
We'll keep you posted what's going on there while everyone watches the replay.
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure. Replay's giving me a little bit of an issue here, so not going to get that one. We'll look at our pit stops, and then we'll do a thank you to our sponsors. Donchak's going to stay out, as does Nagisa Yoshikawa.
Okay, so this is going to be interesting. Alex down on the way first. Caleb Bency, Dakota DeMaid out of the pits. Gavin Sanders, Christian Jasper. That is your first 5 or 6 out of the pits. So Donchak, is he going to just get the glory of leading a couple of laps and get those bonus points, or is he going to take him down to the restart? And he's possibly hoping for a later caution.
Let's get you to let's get some green flag running there, Donchak, and at the front. But yeah, I'm gonna give one of our sponsors that replay or commercial time, and we'll be back.
Ever since I've switched to Schaeffer's oil, I've never had a reason to even try anything else. And that's one thing that I'm proud about, is the fact that I can't tell you how good something else is, because I know how good Schaeffer's oil is. My engine builders, Tony and Glenn Clements, have said about the oil we run. They've told us that out of all the motors that they get and rebuild every year, ours looks the best, and a lot of that has to do with the oil that we run. One of the things that I love about Schaeffer's oil is the fact that all of their reps are out in the field and at the racetracks with us, seeing what all the racers need, seeing what ideas we have or anything that we can improve on. And you just can't beat the customer service of having a rep for, one of the main components of our race team, whether it's at our engine oil, transmission fluid, rear end oil, having somebody there that represents that brand and also gives us support and also the knowledge that we need to be making the right calls and just helping us out with our entire racing program. It means a lot to our race team to have that. My name's Chris Ferguson, and I drive the number 22 dirt late model. I've been using Schaeffer's oil racing products since 2009. I absolutely have no doubt that we're using the best products that is possible for dirt late model racing.
Well, we're going to come back. We got breaking news.
Yeah, we've got breaking news here. I'll let you say it, Gary.
Yeah, for whatever reason, I'm not quite sure, but the man always has a method for his madness. Is Alex Van de Sant pitted again? He is now at the back of the pack. He stopped and got what looks like it was and he's also got a penalty for entering a closed pit, so that's why he's letting Yoshikawa by him. But so he has to start at the tail end of the line. But he topped off, so he may be thinking he's going to try to make a mileage race out of this, but he is all the way at the back. All the way at the back. It's a really weird call. Maybe he's going to prove that you can come to the back to the front and show everybody how it's done, but he doesn't have a lot of time. Well, he has actually half a race to do it. I keep forgetting we're only halfway home, and it feels like we should be a lot longer than this.
Yeah. Well, lights out.
But I'm not sure what happened there. Not sure what happened there at all. That's a very odd. Coming to green.
Caleb Bensi gonna be leading here. I have a suspicion that Alex is gonna be on a mission to prove something, that he can come back from this and beat the socks off of everybody else. But we'll see if he can do that.
Flynn Lazier on the inside of Christian Jasper going in the 1. Looks like he's going to get that position, and he is not quite yet. Here comes Christian Jasper on the high side. Side by side coming through 2, right in front of the Sweets. And down the back stretch, and once again, it's going to be another situation. High side OP manages to pull ahead of Lazier down the back stretch, single file into turn 3.
Drew White battling with Watson. White up to 8th. Now Coogan drafting White. He's going to take over that 9th spot over Watson as well. Gavin Sanders up to 3rd, so podium, current podium. Bensi, DeMade, Sanders.
Drew White, P8.
Nate Schaeffer up to 6th from 23rd.
Nick Johnston, P11.
I'm watching back in Alex and that 21st. A lot of scary stuff going around in front of him. He's experiencing an entirely different race than he experienced in the first half of the race. Oh, he had a car maybe brushed the wall in front of him. That was Lubricants. And Alex is going to go around Hill.
Ooh. Oh, Spath, yeah, I'm watching Spath almost into the wall. Now we're side by side with Libertor and Spath going to. Oh, yeah. We got contact there. He's into the wall. That's going to be a day-ending bump right there. That is a. But they keep going.
Yes.
Here comes Chris Hill to the inside.
Yeah,
I'm sure Alex did not want this.
Yeah. Well, that's the price you pay for, starting at the back of the field like that. Completely different race than what he was previously doing. His path into the pits, he towed that. The way I kind of see it is when you get back
trying to pass Dan Neese there on the high side. Oof.
I feel like Neese has got a majorly damaged car.
Yeah,
there.
he's got some issues. Maybe want to take a look at the in-car camera and see if his wheel's at an odd angle.
He's actually back at 25th. Major understeer. It looks fine. Huh. There's something ill handling in that car. Well, back up to the front, Caleb Bensi, that Fawn and Fanny car in the lead, followed by Sunset Arctic's own Dakota DeMade. Gavin Sanders in P3. You can talk about Gavin's sponsors, I'm sure, Gary.
Fat Bastard Burritos.
There you
the
go.
Best burritos in Canada.
Glenn Lazier back in P4. He's sponsored by something called Spark VR. I don't know exactly what that is. Obviously, it's a VR system of some sort.
Yeah, well, we got a battle right now with Flynn Lazier and Christian Jasper.
Exactly.
Back in the turn 2 here. This is a great one.
And Jasper.
And sneaking into the picture is Nate Schaeffer.
Yes, he is.
Flynn side by side with Christian turn 3. Christian going to maintain that high line.
Jasper is
going to have
a Spratty Esport car. That's Pony's team.
Got the run from the high side down to the inside at the start-finish line. He's going to run side by side with Flynn Lazier going in the 1.
Looks like Christian has that position. I do like Flynn Lazier's car there, though. It reminds me of the Bourdais car from last season.
The Rockets.
Yes, except that car is in a whole lot better position than that Bourdais car was. something AJ Foyt racing.
Yeah, there's a number of flat black cars out here. That seems to be the going look lately. It's like a flat black with some maybe some shiny pinstripe or something on it. That seems to be the thing now.
I mean, that's what I run in my race for a car too. So yeah, ever since we had spec maps and iRacing, everybody wants that like matte black kind of look. I think, did we just have a fastest lap of the race?
Dan Neese currently of all cars, because he's having issues.
You're right.
Currently still purple with a 40.718.
Okay. The one that actually flashed at me was also another faster car. Was like Haller in an 48.63. But you're right. Dan Neese is fastest.
Alex Van de Sant moving up to 15th.
I was about to say earlier that, you know, it might be easy to get some passes done early on once you're at the back of the field, but at every car that you pass, that next car gets more difficult to pass, is the way I kind of see it. So.
Well, yeah, it's on a curve, obviously,
Yeah, exactly.
or not on a curve. It's just an angle of mathematical angle, and the next one's going to be should be a higher IR rating driver, and so forth and so on. Well, Nate Seifert has got moved around a little bit, or actually he's in contact with Nate Seifert and Flynn Lazier for 5th, side by side in turn 1. Whoa! Whoa! That was a pucker up moment as Seifert almost washed up into Lazier, and you could see how much off the pace and momentum he lost on that.
Yeah, big time. Well, both cars live. They survive to live and fight another day. But that's both drivers are highly talented, and that's they pulled it off and kept it clean and they keep it going. Matthew Short there. He's been hanging around in this kind of position for I feel like the entire race. And I'll just mention, going back to that back home again in Indiana, it was Matthew Short that sponsored that for everybody. So.
He was going to pay me to do it too, and I'm like, nah, I can't.
Yeah. Well, I think I gave him the idea that I do back home again in Indiana, Gary, and you were going to do I am Indy, JJ's favorite song, like I'm blanking. Well, who's the Kiss guy?
Gene Simmons.
Gene Simmons, that's it. Whoever had the great idea to bring Gene Simmons on. This is 2007 IRL for you. Let's bring in Gene Simmons for our youth movement to build up the series popularity.
Because nothing says young since 1970 Kiss.
Exactly.
So doing the math here, 13 laps. Caleb is currently on. Most everyone's on 13 laps of this current stint. They should be out. They should get to their 30th lap right around lap 92, and they will be done. So this could turn into a battle of green flag pit stops.
Yes. Dan Neese goes a lap down to Caleb Bensi. That was actually 3 laps down. I see Neil Lusher is still running. I didn't realize that till now. He's 4 laps down. Never give up.
Yeah, I'm watching Will Zeller's comments here. Is that you need pretty much the car in front of you to make a mistake, and that's exactly what I've been calling here. Is you get kind of in these 1.5 plus gaps, equal gaps between all the cars, and you can't really do anything unless that car in front of you makes a mistake, because the aero push is not allowing you to really make up any more time.
I think that's what we saw with that battle between Caleb and Alex. We saw them swapping back and forth quite a bit early on, and then suddenly, Caleb had that big moment, and then there was nothing after that.
Well, we got another battle for 4th brewing again. Actually, you know what? My bad. That is Dan Neeson. That's one of the flat black cars. Sorry.
Right, yep.
I thought that was Flynn catching back up to him.
Like, yeah,
nope. But Alex Van de Sande up to P12, getting around James Watson.
Yep. Sets his sights on Nick Minori. He's almost back up to the top 10. Nick Johnston in 10th. Oh, we've got
a lot of smoke on the front stretch. Oh, Christopher Hill.
Chris Hill into the pits. We're going to get a look at this. I'm sorry, Chris. I wonder if he lost it. Yeah, he lost it. What happened? He's on the access road in turn 3 and 4. This is just an ill handling car. Ooh, a 10-year party for Chris Hill. That's what we call that. So we'll head back to flight running. He's still struggling on the pit lane.
Yeah, it's 7/10 back to DeMade, 1.2 back to Sanders, 2 seconds back to Jasper, 2.8 back to Lazier, 1.2 back to Schaeffer, seconds back to Short. Now, as you see right here, for 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, and 10th, they're all about the same. They all have about the same interval between themselves.
Yeah,
so we're at that point in the run where no one's really gaining in on anybody unless the person in front of them is making a mistake.
It could be something. I know that, our logic, Gary, says to pit with 30 laps to go. But if the tires are so bad after halfway, moving a little bit into that and making it, say, 25 to go rather than 30 to go to the end might be a wise choice. We'll see. Of course, you're risking a caution coming out of that.
And yeah, we still have 26 cars on the track. We are not out of the realm of possibility of having another incident, multi-car incident.
Yeah,
so
20 cars on the lead lap. I did just see some
Christian Liebertor all of a sudden, or Jonathan Liebertor all of a sudden just showed up in the pits.
I think
he might have had an issue.
Turn 2. Yes, he did. In the short shoot. Off of turn 1, he understeered high. No caution, though. It's one of the iRacing special, no caution. Definitely should have been a caution. But I guess in some ways we appreciate no caution.
So here's a little bit of a chance for Dakota to make up a little time where Caleb has a slower car in front of him. He will get impacted by the aero push. But he's already down and away and by going into turn 1.
Yeah, that was Espo. And last lap for Espo at 43 seconds, so he's running about 2 seconds a lap slower. Interesting. So talking tire drop-off, let me give me one more lap to look at this, but
I didn't think the tire drop-off was that bad with this setup, to be honest.
But they started it I think it's almost a half a second. I want to see what Caleb runs on his own, without a lap car ahead of him.
Yeah, last time by, he was a 41.7.
Yeah.
This time by.
Okay, he
41.4.
So, yeah, if that's the case, then there isn't that much tire drop-off. But I was going to say, if that 41.8 was his best, or 41.7 was the best that he could do, then that would be a tire drop-off. So.
Yeah, that time by Dakota actually got slowed down by. He was a 42.4.
Yeah. And that actually puts him in the clutches of Sanders. However, Sanders catching up to this too. It's like they've got no tire left at all to even make it around a lap car.
These two going to be teammates in the Lionheart Speedway Series. Dakota and Gavin.
Also in Formula Indy.
And in Formula Indy Series as well, yes. Angelo up high. Good car control. Keeps it off the wall.
Yeah.
Tiptoeing it down on the bottom side of these guys. Christian Jasper is going to pull off the pass down the backstretch. But man, you could hear him feathering that throttle.
Yeah, this aero push is just wicked. Now, so with that said, that makes me think pit as early as possible. So, pit right at lap 30th to go, rather than holding on and staying out. Caleb making it around another lap car.
I think that was
It might have been
Kresge.
Kresge, yeah.
Yep.
That puts
Kresge's been sounding off the pace power-wise. Not sure that that earlier incident might have still be having some ill impact on his car.
Yeah, Watson has dropped back a lot too because he's 18th now. He'd been in the top 10 most of the race. Yeah, we're coming up on that 90, lap 90. That's me and Gary are always looking at that 30 to go sign. I think we're going to see cars ducking in the pits and being good to go to the end from there.
Yep, at least at the very, maybe somebody will go to 89. We'll see, and maybe they'll try to make it. 88's pushing it. We'll see at this point, unless there's a caution.
Big lead by Caleb Benzie here, though, like a huge lead.
3-second lead, and the reason is because of that lap car.
Yeah, exactly.
and nothing against Angelo. I mean, he got out of the way. We're not talking. If you watched the Indy fixed race last week, that we broadcasted, there was a driver that was a lap down that was clearly racing the drivers. The leaders, and it was really pissing people off. Angelo just did the exact opposite. He got out of the way, but I think the point where these drivers caught him were probably maybe some of the worst spots on the racetrack.
Yeah, but that's just the way it goes sometimes. So, Lynn Lazier really catching Christian Jasper there. Lazier in 5th, Jasper in 4th. I'll take this one moment to thank our title sponsor of the race here, Heinekamp Financial. So Heinekamp Financial Planning and Tax Service offers a full range of financial planning and tax services, including investment, tax planning and preparation, as well as retirement, insurance, and estate planning. You can check them out over at HeineKampFinancial.com. Link is in the description of the video, updated with that earlier. Check them out. We appreciate them. And with that said, I just saw a big puff of smoke at the apron of turn 2, so I think we had another car. I believe it's Donchak in a Heinekamp Financial car. Sorry, Mike.
All right, now, so Caleb is in an interesting spot now. He's got 2 lap cars in front of him. Now his lead's down to 2.5 seconds. So that clean air that Dakota has managed. Whoa, he picks off both of them. Nice job by both those guys of maintaining a high line and letting them by. But because he got caught up in the aero push from them, it allowed Dakota to dig in a little bit and gain about a half second. But now Dakota has to get around these guys. Interesting thing. I mean, maybe he wanted to pit early too if he couldn't get around those guys. But Lusher and Hill, who seem to be racing each other down the backstretch,
yes, they are.
to the chagrin, I'm sure, of Dakota. We'll see.
Yeah.
Drew White and Alex Van de Sant, they're in a battle right now too.
I think what we're going to see is Caleb hitting the
Drew
pits.
White low on the racetrack going into turn 3. We got problems.
Really off power is Drew White. That car does not sound like it's handling well. He's going to head right for the pits, I would hope. This will be interesting because Caleb's going to be coming in the pits here momentarily, I have to imagine. Okay, he looks good.
Lap 90, so the window is open. The window might have been cracked last lap.
Yeah.
But now it is fully open.
And
now
he stays out.
No, well, and here's something else. I mean, and only I know this because I was spotting for you guys in the Lionheart California 500 race. Caleb is the type of guy that really likes pitting when the tank is dry and doesn't like to go early. And in that race, we needed to catch a break, so we went early. And then right as we're coming down pit road, the caution came out. So I'm willing to bet that he's going to take this until it is dry.
With that said, though, he's in the lead in this one versus the other one where he came back out. Here, he would come back out on the lead lap. There he came back out a lap down. So let's see what happens.
Nicholas Johnston on pit road. Alex Teeter on pit road.
Caleb stays out. Dakota stays out. Everybody's staying out. So they're going to just, like you said, run it closer to dry.
It's like Ian Lake right in front of our leader right here. Matthew Short on pit road.
I think Short's like the first of kind of the leading group of cars to pit. Alex Van de Sand
on pit road.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering what happened there. Did we have a penalty maybe? I don't know.
I feel like we had a penalty. Caleb,
and here he is, down pit road. Let's see if he gets down. Doesn't speed. Yep. Gets down there. Meanwhile, there's 4 other cars on pit road, and there's going to be a lot of traffic. Dakota down Gavin. Pit road. Gavin down pit road. Everybody coming off of turn 4 heading down pit road.
A little bit of a traffic jam between Schaeffer and Jasper.
This is going to be pretty exciting.
Yes. And this is also where you wait to see if anybody got a speeding on entry to the pits here. Caleb, good to go, and he's away. Dakota is away.
Oh, Dakota's going to lose a spot to Gavin. Oh, my. And then here comes Flynn in 5th. Here comes 6th and now 7th. So it looks like Christian Jasper might have fallen, lost the position. Here's Shane Coogan.
Yeah, it looks like Schaeffer got around Jasper in the cycle of pit stops. Looks like Caleb is going to maintain the lead.
Caleb has a 6-second lead over Sanders?
Wow.
How did he do that? I mean, bravo.
Yeah. I wasn't exactly checking the gap right before that. I know it was like 3 seconds to Dakota. Had it grown since then? I wasn't.
Well, I'm sure it didn't help that there were other cars pitting in front of each other there, and they had to not only maintain their spacing to the car in front of them, but also be wary of what's coming up from behind. And I'm sure that impacted how they hit pit road and hit that speed limit line there. Dakota, or actually Caleb, could hit it at full speed and not have to worry about anyone from behind or in forward. So that's a big deal, and that apparently bought him about 4 seconds. He's now on the racetrack as your leader, and he is coming up to Cosgrove and Lusher as they are lap traffic right there going through turns 1 and 2.
Yeah, generally I like to pit by myself. Sometimes I call to make my pit. I know, for instance, Thomas, we were in a race together. He's my teammate over in VOR, and I'm like, I'm going to pit, Thomas. And he's like, I'm going to pit too now. I was like, but I didn't want you to pit. So, yeah.
There's certain races where you want to pit with a buddy. That's something with the draft. Here you don't necessarily need to pit with a buddy, but the draft is still a factor here.
Yeah. I mean, you can run one. You don't want to be out for many laps without a drafting partner, but 1 lap you can do that without a partner. That's kind of the way I see it. Christian Jasper, yeah, he dropped a couple spots through that cycle of pit stops. He was in 4th, or have they gotten around him before that? We had Flynn Zier in 4th, Schaeffer in 5th. Van de Zandt's up to 9th. Still a strong restart from him, but the field.
Yeah, but I don't think I really don't see him. I don't see a strategy helping him right now.
Unless we get a caution, we need it like right about now for him to.
And the caution's there to close the gap.
Yeah. I mean, 17 seconds back from the leader, so that's why you want a caution. 15 cars on the lead lap. Cosgrove, the next car, the red car ahead of Caleb there.
Gavin's kind of by himself, too.
Yeah.
Dakota's just kind of hanging on to the tail end of the draft there, just barely. But he has broke the draft to Flynn, so Flynn just needs to concentrate on making his laps, hitting his marks, and possibly hoping that somebody in front of him makes a mistake. Now, running him down is Nate Seifert. Seifert is definitely making an issue of that right now.
The closest battle on the track is really Shane Coogan Alex is about a little bit less than a second behind him, but that's still a pretty healthy gap between those drivers. Matthew Short still running 7th there. He's kind of been there all day. Caleb has a gaggle of lapped cars ahead of him. I see some smoke. That's not what you want to be seeing, really.
Holy mackerel. Yes, he does. So he gets it around Espo and the Van Halen car there. Still has Cosgrove in front of him. Cosgrove going to give him room. Going to stay to the outside. He is clear, and now he's going to work on Shirazi.
And this, as Caleb crosses start-finish line, that's going to be lap 100 in the books here. 20 laps to go.
So Shirazi, I believe, is on the tail end of the lead lap. So he's starting. He is now. Caleb is now lapped up to P14.
Kind of a tail of. Did you see Neil there?
Neil reached out and grabbed that wall almost.
Yes, he did. Yeah, I saw that too. Kind of a tale of 2 races here, though. Like, first half of the race is Alex Van de Zandt's show. Second half so far is the Caleb Benzie show.
Here he is making a move on Shirazi for lapping him down in P14. And now he's about 2 seconds behind Yoshikawa, who's the next car on the racetrack in front of him.
Yep.
Yoshikawa in 13th.
Meanwhile, Gavin has actually gained, because of all that lap traffic, he's actually gained about half of the gap that he had. It was 6 seconds, it's 3 seconds now. But Gavin still has to get around all of these cars that Caleb has got around, and that's why that gap came down.
Yep.
D'Angelo Espo back there.
Van de Zandт around Coogan. They're side by side right now. They're down, heading down the front stretch. Something tells me Coogan's not going to let this one go.
We've got it on camera.
Oh, he's going to pull out. Oh, we're side by side, boys.
I think we had some wheel banging in turn 1 there.
And you got Watson there, and Watson. Watson, he did everything to stay out of the way, but man, those guys had to really roll out of it. How close could that be? And I believe that's going to give enough of an edge. I don't think Coogan's going to be able to run him down now.
It was actually exactly what Coogan wanted, though, was where Watson went. Because where Watson went high to let them kind of go around, it gave Alex dirty air.
Yeah.
But then it was Coogan drove it really hard at turn 1.
And I want to be clear again. My man Watson did nothing wrong. Nothing wrong.
That was good racing there.
Now Alex is second and a half back from short.
That is a big gap, but if anybody can do it would be Alex. And as
looks
I
like Gavin's around those lap cars already.
Yeah, so 2.5 seconds back. I did want to mention again this Fawn and Fanny 20-team race first thing. If we've got Caleb on the podium, don't want to jinx anything right now. He'll be able to explain everything way better than I can. Bresky in front of him getting lapped another time here.
Little Lazier with the purple, 40.536. 40.536. What's that?
Did you say Little Lazier?
Purple Lazier.
Oh, okay. I heard Little Lazier.
But purple does run in that family, apparently.
Yes,
so,
yes.
While we got a second here, go over the schedule. Next week, we'll be here for 186 laps at Phoenix, and it's the correct version of Phoenix.
Correct. The Legacy 2008 version is the less banking version. That's the IndyCar. Well, They ran the other version too a couple times anyway, but that's the classic IndyCar version of Phoenix. The Phoenix 300K.
Caleb trying to put Yoshikawa a lap down. He pulls it off. Not quite. He's side by side with Yoshikawa. Yoshikawa fighting to stay on that lead lap. He has every right to do that.
Got Chris Hill ahead of him.
And he's got the draft of Chris Hill to help him out. So I'm sure... Oh, wow. Yeah. Whoa. Talk about a moment.
This is a little bit of what you were talking about from that other race you broadcast from here last week, Eric.
Now, Yoshikawa has every right to fight to stay on the lead lap.
Oh, this
and then after
even
that,
more laps down, you're saying.
Right. But after that, once he gets passed by the leader, if he's, you want to see if you can try to maintain, to the leader. But once you get passed by second or third, then etiquette says, hey, man, I should probably let these guys start going. I'll get my wave around when I get the lucky dog. That's ultimately what will happen. He just needs to hope no one else gets passed.
Meanwhile,
so he has every right to stay on the lead lap.
Gavin Sanders only a second back here. He's gained 5 seconds here somehow through all of this.
Well, let's take a look at the line Sanders is running. I believe he is running that high line, and he's in the draft. He is now in the draft of your leader at the moment. Let's take a look at Sanders entering turn 1, see what line he takes. Not high, but not exactly on the white line either.
Yeah, Caleb is... he's got to deal with his lap traffic here. Let's go on board with Gavin Sanders. View from the Fat Bastard Burrito car is Gavin Sanders' sponsor.
11 to go, folks, and we got ourselves a race on our hands.
Would you have ever thought that we were going to have that when it was 6 seconds?
No, I kind of thought that the next part of this race was going to be kind of boring.
Yeah.
Wow, what happened here? And everything has turned out differently. Now, catching Caleb. Passing's a whole different thing.
Yes.
So we will see as we are coming to 10 to go here at Indianapolis.
10 to go, 25 miles to go.
Caleb inheriting the lead from Alex, making an extra pit stop for some reason. He's been a leader ever since. Alex Van de Sant took an extra pit stop there.
Well, what we're kind of looking at here is, are we going to have our first two-time winner of the RIL Heinekamp Financial 300? Or are we going to have a first-time winner here in Gavin Sanders? Alex Van de Sant is in the pit lane.
In the pit.
Not sure what happened there, but we're looking at a battle for the lead here.
Oh, Gavin's got to run.
Yep.
Gavin's got to run. Inside at the yard of bricks. Turn 1, side by side, going into the south end of the track, south chute. Through turn 2, shooting between the Brickyard Crossing Golf Course. There's 3 holes they have built in the middle of the infield here in Indianapolis.
Have you ever played golf, Gary, there?
No, I have not, but I do know. I don't play golf very well, but I do know that the Speedway High School team there, that's their home course.
Really? That's cool.
So both of them had an off north side of the track there. You could hear them rolling out of the power. Caleb or Gavin recollecting himself, trying to line them back up. 9 to go.
This is an interesting situation because usually, I mean, if we had, these cars first and second on their own, I think, we might be having some racing there, like some moves made. But with that car of Nagisa Yoshikawa, he's kind of dampening that just a little bit. And I think we kind of both might have just seen it, but I feel like we just hit that plateau where the tire wear, came up on Gavin's car, where 19 laps into the stint, 20 at the line. But it's not over yet. We got 8 laps to go.
Each one going, Caleb going high, Gavin and low, and turns one and turn 1, turn 2. The rolls are reversed. See how they navigate turn 3 here. Down little white line, just out underneath the white line, just a tick.
So another really interesting, because of like Yoshikawa there, Dakota was like 5 seconds back from Sanders and Bensy, and now
he's creeping into this.
Yeah, that is how big the dirty air is. Really bad. Well, with 7 laps to go, let's quickly have a look. Matthew Short in 7th, kind of hanging out there the whole race. For the most part, strong run by him. Nick Minori there in P9. Strong run. Johnston somehow making it back top 10 at that moment. He's actually Short's Formula Indy Series teammate.
Yeah, if I have to give someone a drive of the race, Johnston is one of those to heavily consider.
Yeah, I would say so. Lucky dog or not. And with that said, our battle for the lead is
right at a half second.
Yeah, with 2nd and 3rd.
And Dakota, it's about equal distance between 1st and 2nd and 2nd and 3rd. Right there at 0.6 of a second. And I think you're right. I think the tires are spent. I really, really do.
They look really toasted is what I think. They're having to roll out of it so much in these corners. And everybody's kind of like looking for clean air in the same position. It seems like they're all running high. What a flag. I'm on board with Dakota. You can see a lot of flag all over his nose of that car, of that throwback car that he runs at Indianapolis.
Yeah, that's the Tom Steva throwback to the his 83 Texaco Star that he won the 500 in that year. Could have been Allenser Sr.'s 4th Indy 500 that year if Allenser Jr. would have blocked harder.
Was that Steve's only win, or did he win 2?
And that was, believe it or not, that guy was a bridesmaid so many times.
Yeah.
He was known for winning the pole and finishing 2nd a lot. And that was his one and only win. And in fact, he never completed a 500 miles after his win in 83. He never completed, he was in many races after, but he never completed the 500 miles. The last time he completed the 500 miles was in 83 when he won.
He was in that scary crash that I always remember. I don't know what year that was. Where
75 and turn 2 right there in front of the suites. Yeah.
Brutal, like far into the fence, and as far as I understand, he like walked away.
Yeah. That's luck. That's 100% luck. Gavin, 2/10. 2/10 Gavin is in there. Oh, he looks like Bensy got a little low in turn 2 there. Maybe got a little slap happy in the back. See if Gavin can possibly capitalize on that.
Might be just using that curbing on the inside line to just get some rotation.
Rotation, yeah.
We've got James Watson. Okay, now he's ducking into the pits, it looks like. They are
so now that Yoshikawa is making the right call right here. He should have done it a little bit earlier, but he's now with 3 to go, letting the leaders go, and I think that might have separated the leaders just enough that this might be Dakota or might be Caleb's. I don't see Gavin running them down. We'll see. And again, I'm not saying anything Yoshikawa did wrong.
He wanted to finish the race on the lead lap.
Yeah.
I mean, Yoshikawa's a heck of a driver too, so. Well, that is the
White
white flag lap. One more time around the track here. Through turn 2 we go already. Got a second between first, second. Gavin got really high on the exit of 2 there.
Oh, and we might have a battle for second. You watch the winner. I'll take a peek down a second here. See if Dakota
Gavin
can get a
almost rushed the wall
run.
back there.
I don't think Dakota's going to be able to get the run.
All right, Caleb Bensey going to take his second victory here in the RIL Indianapolis 300 Heinekamp Financial. Gavin Sanders second, Dakota DeMay to P3. Lynn Lazier going to come across in 4th. Nate Schaeffer in 5th. Jasper in 6th. Matthew Short in P7. He had fans out there in chat tonight. Nick Minori, P8. Shane Coogan going to come home in 9th. And as you said, Gary, probably driver, survivor of the race after having an early caution for an incident with him is Nicholas Johnston.
Yeah, Seifert actually has the most spots gained with 18, but what doesn't count for Johnston's number is that's where you start, and that's how many positions you pass. When you're going to the front, it doesn't take into account that Johnston went all the way to the back and back up to the front again. It doesn't count all those numbers. I'm willing to bet that Johnston passed the most cars in the race today en route to a 10th place finish, and I think he should definitely be considered for driver of the race. That's for sure.
Taylor doing some donuts. Looks like Dakota joining him. And Gavin Sanders might be joining him too, as well as maybe the entire field back there, it looks like.
Some tight donuts on the front stretch there. There's not a lot of room.
Yeah, it's really narrow here at Indianapolis. And where it gets really narrow is when you get to turn 1. Well, let's see. Where are we even in the broadcast here? Oh, I'm looking at the wrong thing. Our drivers are hanging out over in another Discord. So I was like, how do I drag them up here? But they can't. They're on the wrong Discord. So we'll bring them in when they come in. I'll set up the replay here for the interviews. Heck of a race, though, Gary. Not unexpected, though, to have that battle at the end.
Yeah, I've been saying that I really miss the days, and I don't want to sound like an old man or anything, but that a driver can drive from 5th or 6th up to the front, and not have to really worry about the aero push. And I'm not saying that's the situation here, but Gavin from 6 seconds back. Having to drive it forward with virtually no aid of the draft or anything says a lot onto his ability. The traffic in front of Gavin did him no favors. Some of that is unexcusable. Some of it is excusable in the case of Yoshikawa. I believe he wanted to stay on the lead lap. And when he was racing Shirazi for a little bit, he wanted to stay on the lead lap. I'm down with that. But it was good to finally see that the race kind of come down to just a second or so versus the 6 seconds we saw after that right before that pit stop, or right after that pit stop.
All right, well, we'll bring up our champion here. Well, that is a 2-time champion, RIL Indianapolis 300 champion, Caleb Bensey, taking the victory here. It wasn't easy for you with that lap traffic, it looked like.
Oh, man, I mean, what? I think I had 5.5 seconds or something going into that last stint, and
yes,
I just
more than that. Actually,
yeah.
I think it was 6 that we saw.
Yeah,
I just caught them when they were all bunched together, like all the different speeds of all those different lap cars. They just all happened to be in the same place every time I caught them. So yeah, that was pretty disastrous. And then burned through the right front, I think. So when I got to, I don't know, whoever was in front of me,
Yoshikawa.
Yeah, Yoshikawa. Didn't do a lot of favors, so I was pretty stuck there with some old tires, and yeah, just trying to hang on. But man, it's also going to win in Indy. It never gets old there for sure.
Yeah, heck of a run. It was kind of a tale of two races. First half of the race was Alex Van Zandt's show, is what I said, and then second half was Caleb Bensey's show. But yeah, somehow, what was the gap? It was me and Gary sort of lost track of it. But when you went into the pits at lap, like whatever it was, like 93.
Yeah.
What was the gap back to? I think it was Dakota at that point.
I think it was like 3.5 ish or something like
Yeah,
that.
because that's what we were looking at. I was like 3 seconds, and then suddenly it was like 6. So I was
Yeah.
like, what the heck?
I know. I think I nailed at pit entry, pit box entry pretty well and everything. I think Dakota didn't necessarily like make any big mistakes, but I think it was a little slower. So a bit of a mix of that probably helped.
Yeah.
But yeah, unfortunately, I couldn't keep that gap. It's just every time I thought I had it was in a good spot, I just look up ahead and see about a train of like 6 cars coming at me. So
fortunately for our viewers and me and Gary, Gavin did catch you at the end.
Yeah. I figured I made the show more exciting.
Yeah, that's exactly right. So you were feathering the pedal. We know.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I don't know what it was though. Because for the most part, getting past lap cars wasn't too bad, and then, I don't know, 15 laps to go. I just hit a wall. I couldn't do anything.
That's what somebody in chat, it might have been Will Zeller, that said about halfway through the run, the tires were just dead, and that's exactly what me and Gary were seeing from the booth. Everybody was really feathering the pedals and really nursing the tires from that point. But awesome win here. I think I've got a note here that says you're going to be drinking the whole milk here tonight. I guess you can change your milk if you want, but that's what. So
I put whole for tradition because it's the closest available option to the classic buttermilk, whatever. But I don't own a whole milk, so it'll probably end up being 2%. But yeah.
Okay, that works.
Close enough, great, but
hey, awesome win, Caleb. I don't know how the points are going to stack up here, but should be pretty good with Nate. I think Nate was leading before this. I'd have to look at it all, but obviously you got sponsors. You got that Fawn and Fanny special livery here tonight, and a special coupon code you can talk about.
Exactly, yeah. So first of all, thanks to you guys. I know probably the first half or so was probably not the best race to be broadcasting, but that was still great and enjoyable. But yeah, I also was running the Fawn and Fanny car today, so that was pretty cool to get that victory lane. But I hope anyone's still watching. If you haven't checked it out, please do go on fawnandfanny.com. And then we also just set up a discount for, basically anyone, but obviously for all the sim racers, anyone watching. If you use 20 Team Race First at checkout, you get 20% off your order. So obviously go check that out. Try out some of the products. They're great and custom made and all that. So really, really encourage you to do that and take advantage of a cool opportunity there with the coupon code. And yeah, and then all family and friends as well who's watching. I know there's quite a few. I feel like it's been a little bit since I got a big win. So to get it at Indy is definitely pretty awesome.
Points have been updated, actually. So you have a 20-point lead over Nate right at the moment.
Awesome. Yeah, that 1.5, I think, for this race definitely helps too. So, obviously big win there for that sake and just for the sake of Indy too. So pretty happy with that.
Well, I think everybody's going to be waiting for you to post that milk video. I know you have it before. So good luck.
Round
with that.
2, I guess. Yep. Dakota dogged me for not pouring it on my head, so I think I might have to up my game after last time. So
we'll see. That's the whole thing.
It's not the tradition.
It's not quite the tradition. There is again, even kissing the bricks isn't really tradition. That's a NASCAR thing.
Yeah. So, yeah, you need to drink it. They normally take a sip and just dump it on their head. You actually got to try to drink as much as you can, but we'll see.
Agree. Do whatever you want. You want tradition to be.
No, I don't let Dakota make my decisions for me. Don't worry.
All right.
Take that, Dakota.
Yeah, take that. Great win, Caleb. Good seeing you back in victory lane, and we'll look forward to seeing you the rest of the season.
I appreciate it. Thank you, guys.
Yep.
Yeah, while we're waiting for the next person to come on up, it's Bensey over Schaeffer by 20. Then Gavin in the third spot at 1. So it's 238 to 218 is first and second. Gavin 183, Dakota 152, and Johan Shirazi in fifth spot with 120. That's your top 5.
Championship run, I'd say.
Yeah,
Johan.
very quiet.
All right, let's bring up Gavin. Gavin Sanders.
Hi.
You here. Well, you made it exciting at the end there. Like, it was 6 seconds. How the heck did you bring it down to about a half a second there at a point?
Honestly, I can't even explain it. Just the weird, like, unpredictable nature of the setup kind of just led to that happening, and I wasn't really sure. I know Caleb hit a bunch of traffic, but at the same time, it seemed like they might still be okay, and then and then I saw the gap just kind of falling. I was once I caught up, then I managed to lightly nudge the wall. So
Oh, okay.
yeah.
With that said, bringing up that point, did you brush the wall in the final lap and out of turn 2 as well, or?
No, I just missed it, but I lost like a second, and I was like, oh well. That was fun while it lasted.
But Gary was watching you and Dakota, and I was like, I kind of think Gavin might have brushed the wall. So, but really awesome run. Like me and Gary, I bet we were a little dejected there. Like right after the pit stop, we're like, 6 seconds. I think this race is kind of in the, unless we get a caution, this race is kind of, But thanks for making it exciting out here for us. Any other thoughts you have, Gary? Any other questions?
Well, I mean, I don't think did you get a lap lead at all? I mean, I know you tried to make a pass for the lead, but I don't think we were pretty much like in second, third all day long.
Yeah. I'm just happy to finish, guys.
Yeah, that's true. I know. You said that sometimes hard luck hits you here at the wrong moments, and you brought it home. So you know what to say. You got to finish first, or you got to finish to whatever. Yeah, you know what I mean.
That thing.
To finish first you must finish. There we go.
Finish the race. Yes.
Yeah, there we go. So congrats on P2, man.
Thank you. Yeah, thanks, guys.
Yeah. Hey, any shout outs to sponsors, that kind of thing?
Big shout out to Raceverse, to Midwest Data Solutions, I believe. I can't remember the last bit. And the fiber one of that. Fat Bastard Burrito, Alpine Stars, Stilo, and I think that's it.
Sounds great. Well, hey, next week we're at Phoenix, which Legacy Phoenix. I don't think we've run that here.
Whoa.
For 300K, 186 laps. So I think you've run that over in VOR plenty, though.
Yeah.
So, any thoughts?
It'll be fun. I think it'll suit me better than Indy.
Really?
Yeah, I kind of struggle.
Huh.
Just a little bit. I can't really pass. I can just kind of strategize. I feel like there I can kind of attack more. So looking forward to it.
All right. Well, we'll see you back next week. But great run here tonight. And thanks for giving us the show.
You got it. I'll see you guys next week.
Yep.
Thanks, Gab.
All right. Dakota finishing on the podium. Our winner from last race. Not quite everything there today. But how's it going, Dakota? Maybe he's on mute. Maybe he walked away.
You got me?
There we go.
You got me? All right. Yeah. Discord's been every time I join a chat, it takes like another 10 seconds to connect. So anyway, I'm here now. Yeah, great race.
Well, tell me about that final pit stop. You were
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
Caleb said that you were a little slow on that one.
Don't worry about it. I was safe, not slow, safe. Didn't want to overshoot my pit stall, get a black flag. You know how it is.
Yeah, certainly.
Yeah.
Been there, done that. So, yeah. But good race. A lot of caution at the beginning, and then we got some green flag running. I think it was the race we kind of expected it to be, though. Maybe a little bit more caution early on than we thought.
Yeah.
But
that was about kind of what I was expecting. I was waiting for a turn 1 pile up, but we all made it through that.
Everybody was warned.
Repeatedly.
Yep. Yeah, and it was really tough just running in the draft there. I felt like the tire wear was worse running in second than it was in third. I don't know if that's just mind games or what, but Caleb, it kind of had a similar thought. So it's kind of odd, but yeah, all about track position in the final stint there, it was just getting unlucky with lap cars and whatnot, and then catching back up to the lead pack there. Caleb and Gavin, just no tires at the end there, could do anything. So yeah, but I'll take it.
like Gavin did. I mean, you and Gavin were like 6 seconds behind Caleb after the pit stop, and me and Gary, and I said this with Gavin, we're like, oh man, this is a little bit going to be a procession till the end, but you both at least made it exciting. I thanked Gavin for being there, driving up, being a half second back near the end, and you got up there too. And I was asking Gavin if he tagged the wall on the exit of 2. He said he didn't, but it looked really close.
He told me he did, okay. And a lap later, he's like, "My car feels faster."
Yeah, he said he did touch it, but I was talking about the final lap. I thought maybe he hit it again.
Oh, no, the final lap. No, he just overshot the corner, I think so. Yeah. But yeah, I noticed Flynn was right there on the final 2 laps too. So I was just hoping to keep that podium.
Yeah, so. Got to get that Sunset Arctic Games car on that podium to get those shout outs and that kind of stuff.
That's right.
And you're always running classic Gasman Tom Sneva livery here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway.
Yep, couldn't quite get it done in the Sneva livery, but luckily I was able to do that last season. So yeah, that's 3 consecutive seasons now where I have on the Indy podium. So yeah, I can't really complain about that. So take what you can get, especially at Indy.
Well, according to Gary, he was talking about this because I talked about it during the race, was Tom Sneva, after he won that one Indianapolis 500, he never had another. And what was it, Gary? He never finished another 500 miles?
Yeah, he DNF'd every race after that.
Well, you're already better than that, Dakota. So
nice.
Hey, any other shout outs, that kind of stuff?
Yeah, shout out to Sunset Arctic Games. That's my company that I run. You can check me out on Twitter at Sunset Arctic. You can follow the game I'm developing, Echo Blade, and you can also check out Voltic Pistol on sale right now on Steam Winter Sale for the next 2-3 days. So pick that up if you want to. It's $2. So it's really fun. 2D Metroidvania platformer shooter. So I'm really happy with that. And shout out to Lucas and Alyssa. I know they're watching tonight as well.
Sounds good. Well, we'll see you back next week. It'll be a Phoenix Legacy. So.
Yeah, I don't know if I'll be on the podium, but yeah, hopefully I'm back up here soon.
Okay, sounds good, Dakota. We'll see you then.
All right, see ya.
I think we should do something that I occasionally forget, Gary.
What's that?
Go through the final results.
Yes.
So Caleb Bensey's going to take P1, victory. Gavin Sanders, Dakota. Flynn Lazier, P4. Nate Siefker, P5. Christian Jasper. Matthew Short. Nick Minori. I'd say Matthew and Nick Minori, really good runs here. Rookies to the series. Everybody else, well, Nicholas Johnston, also rookie, but everybody else in top 10 is Flynn Lazier is a rookie. I don't know if you call him really that, though. As a professional driver, Michael Holler, Nagasa Yoshikawa, he ends up 12th. He was the last 11 cars on the lead lap. A strong field here today. Johan Shirazi, 13th. John Cosgrove, Alex Van Zandt. Alex confirming in chat that he had a speeding penalty on that final pit stop.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Kresge's going to be P16, James Watson, Ian Lake. Neil Lusher comes home. How many laps down? Sorry, Neil, but
6
laps down.
6 laps
Neil,
down, yeah.
19th. Good to finish it off after that unfortunate rear end incident. Angela Espo, Chris Hill, Drew White, Alex Dieter, Dan Neese, Pete Downcheck, Jonathan Libertor, Logan Spath, Josh Tucker, Hayden Herman, Lucas Santos. Finishing off the field is going to be Sean Ryan, Matt Cosgrove, Nicholas Isidro. Isidro was our first time winner here at the RIL Indianapolis 300. Jake Akey, Will Zeller, Tony Patty going to be the last of the starting cars. Cody Claiborne did not start. And with that, Gary, you said you got a little bit of an outro for us. But I thought,
that is it for tonight. So once again, the podium from Indianapolis, and you saw it there. Great race. Caleb Benty first, Gavin Sanders second, Dakota DeMade third. Join Race First again next Wednesday as we'll be coming to you from the Legacy Phoenix Raceway, or I like to call the best version of the Phoenix Raceway, for round 6 of the Revolution IndyCar Series Winter 2021-2022 Schaeffer IndyCar Series. That's next Wednesday night, 7:50 Eastern Time. Again, that's 7:50 p.m. Eastern Time on YouTube at youtube.com/racefirst. So as you know, the YouTube algorithm game is not an easy one to play, so please do leave a comment below and let us know what you thought of tonight's race. Let's see, we got 7 people watching now. We got 6 thumbs up, so someone else needs to hit the thumbs up to make it equal 1 for 1. Come on, guys, let's do a like spike here. But if you enjoyed tonight's coverage, support us by smashing like in the video, and if you're new, click subscribe while you at it. Hit the bell for weekly reminders so you don't miss out on more Race versus iRacing programming, including our continuing coverage of the official iRacing Fixed IndyCar Series, the Monday Night Indy Top Split, every Monday evening, 7:15 Eastern Time. And starting January 11th is the return of one of the most prestigious IndyCar leagues in all of iRacing. It is the Midwest Kidney Warriors Formula Indy Series. Join our coverage of the FIS as it kicks off its 3rd season at Suzuka Circuit in Japan right here on Race First. For business inquiries to learn more about Race First and what we do, visit racefirst.com or follow us on Twitter. You can follow me, Gary Gazzo, on Twitter at Gary Gazzo. So for Matt Houston, everyone at Race First, I am Gary Gazzo saying to all, happy holidays, and to all our men and women serving in the military and as first responders, Godspeed, God bless, and come home safe. Thanks again, folks. Catch us next week for the next race of our RIL Schaeffer IndyCar Series. Good night.